there, motivators. My name is Lenora, and this is Gates. She'll be helping me today with today's class. We'll be going over 3 specific exercises: the squat, the functional sit-up, and the functional chop. You'll need 2 pieces of equipment, a mat, and a 5-pound or 10-pound dumbbell. As you can see, I'm a truck driver, so there's trucks all around. I happen to be in a good spot today where I have nice grass to be in. And so if you hear, trucks going around, hey, that's the lifestyle. I also want you to know that our philosophy, and most of you who follow us should know that we don't really tout being able to focus on and isolate working on specific fitness, isolating muscles, right? By isolating muscles. We really focus on working out the whole body and creating that awesome connection contralaterally and throughout functional movement, right? So just keep that in mind. I'm doing this for a specific class, and what's required of me is to do 3 specific movements that do the lower body, middle, the core, and the upper body. And you'll notice that these 3 movements, although they use a lot of muscles from those 3 specific areas, they really use a lot from the whole body. Okay, so make sure that's on. All right, so the first movement is going to be the functional squat, and that really targets the glutes, the hamstrings, the quadricep femoris group, and then throughout the thoracic spine musculature, and then it also goes through a lot of the core. So, like I said, the whole kind of works out the whole body. But this functional movement, I'm going to have her move laterally. All right, and we're going to start from more of a standing neutral position. So she's this is kind of what we see a lot, where we all have this dysfunction in our spine and our posture and how we sit and stand and everything. So go ahead and extend all the way up. She's not locking out the knees. Excuse me. She's not locking out the knees. She's pressing on the outside of her feet. She's starting to engage through the quads a little bit more in the glutes, extending through her thoracic spine, even pulling out from the pulling out from the low lumbar. She has a nice chest that's nice and super womaned out. And from here, the shoulders, we tend to have them depressed, and we want them to get elevated, but not to the point where they're all the way up to the ears, right? And we also don't want too much flexion this way or this way. So we want to be able to stand about right here, nice and neutral. And that's where we'll start. That's the starting position. So from here, she'll go ahead and slight bend in the knees, and they'll shift forward. I know they're past the toes, but there's not a whole lot of weight being pressed into the knees right now, so it's not that bad. As she shifts posteriorly with the hips, she has a posterior tilt right now, so she's engaged in her core still. And as she posteriorly shifts back, the knees come back. Now there's a lot more weight happening into the legs. This is where you want to make sure those knees aren't past the toes. As she comes down, she'll get a little more anterior tilt, gets more into her squat. All right. I like to have my arms forward. You may have them forward as well. Just going to keep that thoracic extension, chest forward. All right. Slightly look down just a teeny bit. There you go, because we don't want that extra extension and compression in the neck, right? Okay. So from here, she's going to stand up. So she's going to be halfway extend through the legs. And then from here, she's going to focus on her pelvis as she shifts it forward, right? And then we extend and stand. So there's a lot of core activation when we're shifting that pelvis forward. When she's moving forward, it's going to be almost, this is exaggerating, but just thrusting that pelvis forward. There's a lot of engagement. Obviously, you don't want to hyperextend it, but stand up nice and tall, get it to a neutral position, and then stand erect like she is. Good job, Gates. You want to show us how that looks like in real time? So this will be the whole movement without instruction. Awesome job, Gates. Good job. All right. So our next movement we're going to go through is going through the functional sit-up. Now, I recommend having a mat. I know what it is to be out there in this trucker world, and it's kind of gross out there. So if you are in an area where, it's just too much urine smell everywhere, I get it. You don't have to go out there on that ground. I get it. But I do recommend a mat, urine smell or not. Well, if you are in an area where you can't do it quite yet, just watch this. Keep in mind some of these movements are what's being activated. That way, when you do have time, you can go ahead and get straight to it and not have to rewatch a video. So the mat I use is this one. It folds up. I don't get endorsed or anything for this, but it folds all the way up real nice, and it comes out, and then it folds in on itself, so it maintains its cleanliness, you know. So go ahead and lay out this mat. So this is a functional sit-up, and it's going to work out the rectus abdominis, the internal obliques, and then also the erector spinae group. So she's going to be flexing through her spine quite a lot. So if you have some weights to go over your feet, great. If you have somewhere to stick your feet under, awesome. I've used I have a deer guard on my grill for my truck, and I've used that to do a sit-up as well. It's a little high, so I had to take my toes up, but we're a team, so we get to use each other. Okay, from here, Gates is going to go ahead and bring their hands by her ears, and you can have your elbows in or out. That's your preference. I prefer them in. Be sure not to really press onto the head to lift the head up. We want to be able to use our own strength in our neck to hold our head up. And so Gates, go ahead and come up. Just lift the shoulders off the mat. There you go. Just like that. And that's what she'll be. And now she's nice and flexed through her, like I was saying, through her spine. And she should start feeling a little fatigue just from that. And she's also engaged through her rectus abdominis. And as she go ahead and come up halfway. All right, so keep this halfway, keep that crunch in, and then we'll start to extend. So go ahead and extend the thoracic extension. So from here, she'll extend out really throughout the thoracic spine, throughout the chest, and then come all the way up to the top. And then same way on the way down. So go ahead and crunch it back in, crunch to the spine, engage, flex to the spine. Go ahead and slowly come down, and that's one. So go ahead and move. Do this in real time without my instructions so people can see. Awesome job, Gates. Now, all of these different fitness with squat, with this, you want to do this till you're fatigued, till your body's fatigued, or you feel fatigued, or there's like a muscular mechanical failure. Do one where you're like wiggle all the way up. So if you're trying to get that extra one, you're like, oh, I got one more in me, you just wiggle, that's a dysfunction, right? We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're executing these correctly to reduce any injury and to not continue to establish those dysfunctional movements in our fitness. We want to keep this nice and pretty, just like that. Good job, Gates. That was amazing. Okay. Little help out of your partner. So our last movement, Gates, would you mind putting that mat up for me? Thank you so much. Our last movement, we're going to do a dumbbell, again 5 to 10 pounds, depending on your fitness level. And we'll move through our specific wood chops. So the movement, we're going to start with the right foot forward. We'll come up. It's going to look something like this, so you get an idea as I describe the steps from here to here. And then we'll do the other side, from here to here. Okay? Go ahead and grab that dumbbell, please. So this fitness exercise right here works out the transverse abdominis. Obviously, you saw the twist in that. The glutes, the hamstrings. It works out your deltoids. It works out the pectoris major, the biceps and the triceps. As you can see, you're getting a lot in this. It's not just an upper body. It's really there's a lot of muscles in the upper body that it's targeting, but you're getting a lot of core and lower body happening here too. So, but this will help open up those shoulders, and it has mine. I've seen really awesome differences in my own shoulders. Okay, so I won't have her do this one laterally because I want you to be able to see each step. This is, again, I'm doing this in real time, so her right foot's going to be forward, her left foot's going to be back. If you're watching this, it's going to be, if you're just listening to me, make sure that you're watching kind of a mirror view, okay? All right, Gates, go ahead and keep that dumbbell to the side here. And I want her to stand still erect. I want her to still find a nice kind of neutral posture, but now she's turning to the side. She has a slight bend. She has a slight bend in her knees. She wants to keep those knees about hip distance apart. Feet are about hip distance apart. She's engaged. Her shoulders, There we go. That's nice. Nice and engaged. Okay, from here, she's going to take a step to the left while taking the dumbbell across the body and taking it over the left shoulder. So left foot steps left, right foot steps back. Arm comes over the left shoulder. Boom. So I want to make sure that your bicep is almost touching your chin as you're trying to bring this over your left shoulder. I don't want to be too collapsed here, but I do want to have a nice twist. Okay, and then she'll chop it the opposite way. Take a step to the right, chop down. Nice, that was real great, Gates. Coming back up, swing it back to the left. Boom. All right, go ahead and relax. So this movement, you can elevate this movement and make it a little more difficult for you if you want to take a bigger jump to the side. Do you want to demonstrate that, a bigger jump? So for a huge jump to the left. And of course, you can speed it up. But again, making sure that you keep that same sort of posture. So right now, whoa. So right now, we'll have a tendency to kind of be in line. I personally have this, and I know Gates does too, where we have a tendency to bring that foot almost like you're on a tightrope. So try to really focus, if you're going to get a little bit faster, to keep kind of a train track approach with your feet, okay? Back and forth with the train tracks. All right, so again, we're going to do this to the other side now. So she's going to start with the left foot forward, right foot back, twist it to the left. Okay. All right, when you're ready, go ahead and take a step to the right, swing it over the right. There we go, very nice. Go ahead and try to keep this real tight. Keep it tight, like if you're swinging a bat. All right, try not to collapse too much there. Perfect. Great, you already corrected it before I even said it. Go ahead and swing it. Boom, down to the left. Go ahead and bring it up. Oh, awesome. Go ahead and relax. All right, so to break that down even simpler, because I know that sometimes we don't have like a good hand-eye coordination, start with just the feet. You can have the right and left, right? Step with the left, step to the right, right? So the back foot becomes the front foot. The front foot becomes the back foot. Step, 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 and try to just keep that train tracks approach. And then once you feel comfortable with those steps, you go ahead and just try to swing the arms at the same time. Up, down, up, down. Try not to focus too much on all the extra little pieces quite yet. Just try to get the movement somewhat down. Just do the other side. All right, and then from there, you can start to really engage to the core, start to sit up straight, get a little lower into the position, and swing the body up. Swing it up. Get like that nice core engagement. Bring that arm up, pull it as far as you can behind you. Send it back down. Up. Once you have that, you start to get a rhythm. You start to get out of breath, let me tell you that. And it's a really good, awesome workout. And you'll feel your triceps will get real sore. And your latissimus dorsi will get real sore as well. But anyways, those are the 3 workouts I wanted to share with you. A quick little side note, guys. Gates and I started a fit fleet. So we have a trucking industry, sort of fleet happening here within Prime. We're hiring. If any of you are looking to maintain a healthy lifestyle while on the road, it's really difficult to do so, but it's not impossible. We do it, work out 3 to 4 times, sometimes 5 times a week, where you're eating as healthy as you possibly can on the road. I know it's a food desert. We are attending school classes like this project class, and you've seen some of our other videos where it's been for a class. University of Arizona Global Campus, if you guys are curious. And then we're building our trucking fleet. So we have 2 different businesses, and we want drivers who are looking for that place to thrive while they're driving, and not just be a driver behind a wheel. Do you know the average trucker dies at 65? It's really saddening. There's 8% of truckers that work out. And what was the percentage for how many people over half of people, 49% smoke, and have cardiovascular issues, and only 8% work out. This is such a sad statistic. Anyways, but we hear from so many truckers how they want to live healthier, how they want to be healthier, and that's what we focus on, okay, guys? If you guys are curious on how to be a fit, healthy, overall wellness, working on your relationships, working on your business, on your specific goals, and you want to do that for a trucking company, you can always contact us, MOTOMELIFE.com, MOTOME Life, LIFE.com, and we can get back to you and hit up. If you guys are curious about our programs, which our first program will actually be out October 5th, so be looking out for that. Like I said, we are really passionate about what we're doing. That will be focused on mindset, on motivation, how to maintain healthy habits, some of these fitness exercises. Just be on the lookout for that stuff. And if you're curious about more or want us to answer any of your questions, let us know. Or join our Facebook group. We have a trucker Facebook group, MOTOME TRUCKER. And in there we have some good classes and things that happen. All right, thank you for your time. Go ahead, live motivated.